Canyon Fire. Today we're going to have 7 speakers. Each one will say a little bit, and then we'll hold the questions until the end. And if you would, please be polite and raise your hand, and I'll go ahead and point you out for questions. If we need here to call out questions and that kind of thing, we can make it happen with just by raising your hand. So first this morning, we're going to have Steve Cox, a member of Mayor City of Colorado Springs, Mayor Bach's executive team.
Thank you, Greg. Mayor Bach couldn't be here this morning. He's asked that I make a few comments. First, I want to address the tour that was given yesterday to the media in the Cedar Heights. The mayor was not aware that was going on. The senior staff was not aware that the decision was made lower in the organization. We assure you that won't happen again. Having said that, by 4 o'clock today, we will have a plan. We will brief the media, and we will brief the people affected, whereby we will provide access for the people in the burned out area in Mountain Shadow, access to their homes. So we don't have all of the details of that worked out. We'll leave this meeting, go figure that out, but tomorrow morning we'll begin that process and look forward to having the citizens have access to their homes. So thank you.
Brett Waters, Emergency Management Director, City of Colorado Springs. A couple things we want to note. As was discussed yesterday evening at 8 p.m., we've lifted a significant amount of mandatory evacuations. We're going to continue to work with Colorado Springs Utilities and others, El Paso County, to make sure that we try to continue to do that as safely as we can. Right now, we have about 10,000 residents who are still under mandatory evacuation. And so look for updates on that. We're working as aggressive as we can to get people back home and businesses back to work. As was mentioned yesterday by Commissioner Latham, we're grateful for El Paso County and the City of Colorado Springs both working together on a disaster recovery center starting today at 9 a.m. there at the 105 North Spruce Street at the former El Paso County Department of Human Services. So we're happy that's going to be up and going. We'll have a host of services there for people who have been impacted by this very dangerous fire. We still have the shelters open, the Cheyenne Mountain High School, Lewis Palmer High School, and the YMCA. So those are still open and have capacity. We also make you aware that springsgov.com is also a good place to get information, and those who want to help. RedCross.org, of course, is a place we've been talking about for a long time, but also helpcoloradonow.com. Thank you.
Good morning, Police Chief Pete Carey, Colorado Springs. I'd like to provide a law enforcement update for the affected fire areas. Starting tonight, the National Guard will be deploying along with Colorado Springs Police Department officers. This was made possible when Governor Hickenlooper signed an executive order. That officer gives Colorado National Guardsmen peace officer status in cases of emergency, in times of emergency. The National Guardsmen will be coming from the 193rd Military Police Battalion from Denver, the 1-157th Infantry in Colorado Springs, and the 140th Security Forces Squadron from Barkley Air Force Base. A total of 160 officers will be available. We're grateful for the help. The plan will be using these National Guardsmen in 2-person units at traffic control points. We'll also put them with Colorado Springs police officers in roving patrols. My hope is that the deployment of these National Guardsmen will allow our police department to return some services back to other non-affected areas in the city. I can't express enough gratitude for the law enforcement agency from outside of Colorado Springs, as well as these National Guardsmen and the governor for the help. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jerry Forte, the CEO for Colorado Springs Utilities, and I'm here to give you a brief update on the utility restoration efforts. Today will be the first day that we'll hopefully have a full day to be able to get in and do restoration efforts. The incident commander has cleared us to be able to work from 8 a.m. this morning through 6 p.m. tonight. We have over 100 folks that will be out there working today. We hope with good cooperation from the fire to be able to get the electricity restored in Mountain Shadows to the 990 folks that are out of electric right now. Now that electricity will be restored in the streets, and there's still some more work to be done in some individual homes. We also hope to be able to get in today and turn off the water to those homes that were burned or destroyed, as in some cases there's no meter, there's no water, there's no valve, and just a pipe with water coming out of the ground. We hope to be able to get that. In addition to that, we'll have many employees that will be going through Peregrine from house to house to house to be able to begin the process of restoring gas service. And here's how that looks. Employees go to each individual house, they turn off and tag out the gas meter. We then will pressurize the mains in the street and begin integrity tests in those mains. If the mains hold and if they have integrity, we'll then be able to allow residents to come back in under the direction of incident command. Now, when you come back into your homes in those areas, you will not have active gas service, and we'll work with you to be able to come in, to turn on the valve, to ensure that the gas is safe within your homes, light your pilot lights, so that everything can be done very safely. We really recognize the inconvenience that everybody has been going through, and we're doing everything we possibly can to get your services back as quickly as possible. In fact, we're working with neighboring utilities who have agreed to send more personnel. We'll be working today, we'll be working tomorrow, provided the fire cooperates, and we'll be working as long as it takes to get you back in your houses safely. Thanks.
Good morning, Ron Perry with the U.S. Postal Service. 2 new updates. Mail service is back to normal. If you live in the Rock Rimmon area, there still are mandatory evacuation spots, but the post office has been allowed to move back in. It is open. We are going to make all the deliveries that we can. If in fact you don't get deliveries or have questions about deliveries, please contact 719-266-8216. As far as Green Mountain Falls and Woodland Park, their mail is still being available for pickup at the Divide Post Office. And if you're out of Cascade, your mail is still available for pickup at the West End Retail Unit, as it has been all week. Your patience has been and still is appreciated. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jerry Martin. I'm the Forest Supervisor for the Pike and Simmonsville National Forest and the Cimarron Comanche National Grasslands. Hey, I want to start this morning by giving a shout out to Bryson and Nathan Hunt and to Blake and Grant. All 4 of these young people lost their homes. And I was talking with Smokey yesterday, and he said he wanted to make sure that he could send you guys something just to encourage you. So, guys, I'm going to be sending you something in the mail. And also, if there's any other children who have lost their home through this Waldo Canyon fire, you just give us a call at 719-520-6771, and we want to make sure Smokey wants to send you a little care package, let you know he's thinking about you. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that first of all. So let's talk about this fire today. You saw a lot of smoke in the air yesterday. We had a lot of burning operations go on, and that was great. As a result of the hard work yesterday, we're able today to say that our containment numbers are up to 30%. And we feel really great about the hard work that was done and about the hard work that's going to go on today. Temperature's going to be up today. It's going to be a little warmer today. You're going to see some more smoke in the air. You're going to see some more burning operations going on. And today's going to be our test day. Today we're going to see how all the things that we've done hold, because if the temperature's rising, we'll see if that holds. And so today will be a great test today of where we are in this fire. We expect to have more containment as the day goes on, and Rich is going to talk more about that. But with that, let's hear from Rich.
Thanks, Jerry. Good morning. You heard the fire's moving in a good direction. We're making progress, and the containment's up to 30%. You also heard the weather's making progress in a bad direction. Hotter, drier, potential for thunderstorms this afternoon, and winds that can move from one direction to another. So while it looks calm and cool out there today, rest assured that there's almost 1,300 firefighters out there. Those of you guys dressed in yellow and green out there doing the job that we got to do. You also heard Jerry mention that today was a big test day. If you can remember back to high school, tests are good news and bad news. You pass the test and you're well prepared to take that test, it's a great day. If you don't do so well on the test, still leaves you a whole lot of work to catch up. So we're optimistic that we've done the prep to be ready for this test when it comes today, and we hope to pass the test with flying colors. But as firefighters, we're always preoccupied with the things that can go wrong rather than the things that can go right. So what I'm going to do now is give you a quick briefing on the map behind us to make sure that we are focused on the areas of concern that we're sharing with you guys. There's been a lot of great work out there. The couple areas that I want to highlight for you. We talked yesterday about this backfiring operation in here. I'm pleased to report the backfire was successfully completed, and we now have a line from Rampart Range Road down to about drop port 20 here. That line is in, it is completed, and the crews are going to be working today to control or flap up in from that line and really start to anchor it down. You see that we turned this line black, so we're contained on this line. Working around up here, all these little spot fires have been contained. There is line around this one, and we're continuing to mop it up. All this along Highway 24 is starting to look good, except for that one spot I've been telling you about down at the Cave of the Winds. We're on a search and destroy mission for that spot fire, or that hot spot down there in the Cave of the Winds area. Air Attack is going to be working on it, and we have assigned our division supervisor to go in there and make sure that we have eyes on that and start to figure out a good plan to put that thing to bed. Coming across here, Monument Creek. We have held this thing up on the ridge with air for the past couple of days, and we're pretty confident that it's up there. However, we have not been able to put boots on the ground to that thing. Operations and the Vandenberg Hotshots are flying that thing from the air today to scope out ways for them to start getting into it safely, get boots on the ground, and start making some containment progress in there. We feel it's hung up there pretty good, but we're very nervous about that spot. So one area I'm very concerned about is right here. We have retardant lines in place, but we have not been able to reinforce them with troops. The troops are going in there today. Another area that we've got a little bit of concern about is this spot. We're right there. You may see some smoke coming in. One of the things the firefighters are evaluating today is possibly a 50-acre burnout, which will allow them to secure that portion of the line. We've been looking at going direct in there for the past 2 days, and we have not been having much success because of the heat and the way the fire creeps around in there. So today we're considering a burnout. That will put smoke in the air that will be visible. That's in the Blodgett Peak area. It will be visible, but that will be a firing operation designed to secure containment lines rather than a threat to those containment lines. So we hope to execute that if necessary this morning. The rest of the fire, we're working closely with Colorado Springs Fire Department to make sure that we have this. We're evaluating how comfortable we feel with containment and working on the repopulation efforts with the chief and that kind of stuff. That is the Colorado Springs jurisdiction, but we are in close coordination with those folks almost hourly, really. It's a constant update. So that's kind of where we sit today. We're cautiously optimistic. We're worried more about the areas where we can have mistakes rather than the successes that we've got out there. We'll continue to move forward and keep the firefighters and public safe. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take questions. Anybody have anything today? Yes. We don't have a representative. You want to take that, Rich? Okay. You know, from the incident management team perspective, we're in close communication with the folks up there at Woodland Park and the sheriff of Teller County. I met with the chief, in fact, this morning from the Woodland Park Fire, and I met with the sheriff. We had representatives up to the public meeting last night. What they're really concerned about up there is how much progress we make on this
potential to go towards them. And then spot fire with the north and the easterly winds that are projected this way. These two spots have the biggest potential to move in their direction. They're well aware of that. We're in communication with them, and as they start to feel comfortable about things, then the local jurisdictions up there will be the ones responsible for those evacuations and their citizens. I think that the discussions that we've had are that everybody is kind of cautiously optimistic, and if things go well today and into the future, those jurisdictions will be making the appropriate decisions.
Anybody else have anything?
What about
how long before Highway 24 will get opened up? Good morning, Lieutenant Jeff Springer with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Highway 24 does remain closed from Pivot to Win through Cristola. There are ongoing and consistent discussions concerning that roadway. We realize that it's a vital link for a lot of folks, citizens who need to travel that. We also recognize, however, and we're sensitive to the fact that operationally for the fire, it's a corridor that's used. But again, those discussions are ongoing. They're taking place to some extent even as we speak concerning the status of that roadway. Whenever we have an update on that closure, if that changes in any way, we will let the folks know right away. Yes.
Do you have an update on the number of houses that have been destroyed, or when you have to that list I guess back?
What was that question?
Do you have an update on the number of houses? I know you were talking about updating the website yesterday. I don't know if you did late night or not. But
It is. I confirmed this morning that it was on there. We're still working with that 346 number.
You know that website people are missing or accounted for? Is that still the case? Is there a number there?
Chief Terry.
The question was, as of a couple days ago, I said there was about 10 people that were trying to put together incomplete information they were missing. Obviously, the tragedy of finding two human being remains yesterday was part of that number. There was another couple of people that we had some pretty serious concerns on that had a destroyed home. They actually showed up at the community meeting, so that number's significantly smaller. What I'd like to do is at 4 o'clock give you an update on that, and I think we're getting to the point where we're getting mostly everybody tracked down.
so many people, like, we don't have enough on
Not right now. I will try to give you a number at 4 o'clock. Again, a lot of incomplete information. For example, if someone said they haven't heard from their son or daughter in a couple of years and thought they maybe were in Colorado, it's kind of hard to say if they were affected or not. So I'll try to get you some more information at 4 o'clock.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh, I'm sorry. We remain hopeful that investigators will be able to get in there soon. They have not been able to yet. There's ongoing communication again with Incident Command on when they'll be able to safely deploy that investigative team. The team's in place. They made their plan for how they're going to approach this, but no new updates concerning their status. Again, once they get boots on the ground behind there and start their work, we'll certainly let you know. And as they move forward and perhaps are able to provide answers, we'll certainly be reporting on that just as soon as that information becomes available.
Just to be clear, compared to last night, no new areas of the evacuation orders haven't been lifted or anything like that.
Question is, as of last night, 8 o'clock, no new mandatory evacuation orders have been lifted. That's correct. It's the same as it was 8 p.m. last night.
Any idea when that might be changing, or is there hopefully that's
Well, we want to be absolutely, we can't give any commitments. I think we're going to work closely with Colorado Springs Utilities and the wildland incident management team to make sure that we do this right. So as soon as we can open up, we will.
Yes.
You're concerned about rising crime. Is that why the guard is being called in?
I think the question was, is there a concern about the rise in crime or that being the reason why we're calling in the National Guard? No, that's not the reason. There's been some returning evacuees last night that discovered a small number had burglaries over the last week, which is unfortunate. It's unconscionable. We're going to take care of that. The number is fairly small. I'd like the National Guard to relieve our officers and other outside jurisdictions that are helping out so we can get back to business as normal in the rest of the city. So it's just trying to get things balanced out and give the best police service we can, but it's not because of a rising crime.
Question, Jerry Warner. I understand there's a current force closure order in effect for the inspection of the pipe.
Yes, there is. There is a closure order. The question was, is there a closure order in on the pipes in San Isabel in the Cimarron and Comanche National Forest? And the answer is yes to that. There is a closure order. One of the things that, as we look at this stage 2 fire restrictions that we're in, things that we need to be aware of with that, as we're coming into the holiday weekend, I know I talked about this last night, no campfires. So the question was, can I have my little, if I have the fire in my little Weber grill with charcoal, can I have a fire that way? No. No campfires in a fire ring, no campfires just out camping. The only thing that you can have is like a gas stove, and it has to have a shut-off valve on. You have to be able to turn it on and off. And that's the only thing that you can have. It also impacts our operators. When you can operate chainsaws. If you go to our website, it kind of lays out, it's a pretty lengthy thing that it talks about there, so I don't want to take the whole time to go through it. But some of the things specifically we want to talk about is being aware of those things that ignition sources, chainsaws, it has to have a spark arrestor on it. ATV, it has to have a spark arrestor on it, USDA approved spark arrestor. But to have all the details, because I want everybody to be informed of this, please go to our website and look, and it'll give you all the full details about that. Somebody asked me yesterday, well, can you also address people throwing cigarettes out of their car or just dropping cigarettes? So I'm going to say, yes, please do not smoke and throw cigarettes out your window of your car. It is so dry. You know, the cigarettes, you drop it and it rolls and somebody else hits it and it's still lit. It just doesn't go out just because you throw it out the window. I mean, besides littering, it comes down and it can catch things on fire. So please, if you smoke it in your car, put it out, leave it in your car, put it in the trash can somewhere. Don't throw it out the window.
That's another closure order. And I didn't think about that. That's what that case was like. Prohibits people from doing any kind of recreation. Entering the forest and all that.
I do not know what you're talking about, sir. I can tell you that people are allowed to come into their national forest. You are allowed to come into the Pike in San Isabel and the Cimarron and Comanche, and we would love to have you come and visit your national forest. You may be talking about what's closed. The fire perimeter is closed off, and I think that's what you're talking about. Okay, I don't refer to them as that, sir, so I just call them closed orders. So, the fire area. Okay, that is closed. So up 24, up the Herman Mountain Road, coming back down where it comes down 25 and it comes back through Manitou Springs. Where we have operations, where we have live fire, where we have people, absolutely, we don't want people in there because if this thing goes off in a different direction, I don't want to have to be looking for people who are wandering, recreating. I want to be able to get forces in there and get this fire out as soon as we possibly can. Greg?
Yeah.
I heard that the numbers on the roll call and then 346 and then fire department in El Paso County, coming up to meet the other night at 7. Is that it?
3-4. $346. The number we're going with right now is 346. We've got a lot of data, and we're merging that data. It's going to be within one or two of that number. So, that's homes destroyed. Homes destroyed. Yes, ma'am.
How much of the home destroyed? Damage destroyed?
It's an assessment that you look at and you say, is this salvageable? Can you go in, tear down part of it? If you can't, then it's considered destroyed.
You have numbers on the ones that are significantly damaged.
We haven't broken it out to that level of detail yet. So as soon as we get that information, we'll get that to you.
Okay, we're good for the day. We will have another briefing this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Tomorrow, we're going to go to only one briefing per day. We're going to have that briefing at 8 o'clock here in the morning. Folks will be available after this to go ahead and if you want to chat with them as well. And no media tour today. Thank you.
Again, that was the press conference.